Yesterday on July 15th, 2013, in the San Francisco Chronicle, I saw Dear Abby. A lady by the name of Jeannie Phillips, I believe, is the one who is Dear Abby these days. And there was an interesting letter where a lady asked for some advice. I read the article. I usually don't do Dear Abby. I like the comics. I like the sports page. I like the front page. I like to see if the Dow went up or down, that sort of thing. But my eye caught this Dear Abby column. I read it, and I just felt that I had to reply. So I wrote a little essay, which I'd like to read to you now. By the way, my name is Ken Philpott. I'm the pastor of Miller Avenue Church in Mill Valley, California. This is my 30th year there. And just a small evangelical Christian church, sort of middle-of-the-road type. But I want to read you this response to that Dear Abby article and the response by Jeannie Phillips. This is titled, Dear Abby Says, Listen to Your Heart. A summary of a letter to Dear Abby that appeared in the San Francisco Chronicle on July 15th is as follows. A 26-year-old mother of an 8-year-old daughter, having just ended a 5-year relationship with a man, is now attracted to a lesbian friend of hers. The attraction has become sexual in nature, and she thinks it is mutual. Her problem is her daughter. She writes, I don't know how she would handle it if I were to date a woman instead of a man. I am also afraid of how my family would react. Jeannie Phillips, who is now Dear Abby, begins her reply with, quote, I am reluctant to advise you to spend the rest of your life living a lie in order to avoid upsetting your family because I don't think it would be healthy for you. Phillips assumes the mother is a lesbian rather than maybe being on the rebound due to the ending of a relationship or that the advice seeker is confused about her sexuality for whatever reason. Then again, a same-sex attraction does not necessarily point to full-blown homosexuality. The advice columnist pontificates, quote, living a lie? We're at an unquote at the end of living a lie. A rather disingenuous conclusion, perhaps. Abby, assuming the role of an expert on family matters, states that the 8-year-old will be just fine with her mother's new lover, wife, partner. Pretty far-reaching evaluation. I wonder if Phillips is not simply pandering to the pro-gay element in our world and fearful that any other advice might be met with criticism, perhaps even demand she should resign. Can you imagine her telling the mother to re-examine her position and to consider the consequences for her daughter? In our culture, few would be brave enough to do so. Dear Abby, oh so very dear, concludes her most gracious reply with, quote, my advice is to listen to your heart and you won't go wrong, unquote. There it is, basically saying that by following the heart, she is on the right path. Go gay since you obviously are one, and your daughter, along with other family members, will simply adjust without problem. Ignore everyone but yourself. Fulfill your desires. It is all about you. The heart, surely trustworthy, especially when the heart, and in this instance, is likely motivated and fueled by hormones, perhaps an emptiness due to the recent ending of the relationship, and perhaps other emotional and physical issues that Abby has no way of knowing anything about as well. Verges on malpractice, maybe? Almost done. How trustworthy is the heart? I have followed my heart, and therefore have gotten myself into more trouble than I want to think about. An ancient prophet said, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Who can understand it? This is found in Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 9. Trust the heart today generally means trust your feelings, emotions. These are powerful factors that determine much of our behavior. I am often at their mercy. So much so, I have found that I need to be careful and considerate in responding to my changeable feelings. If I did not have Scripture to consult, which, by the way, captures the wisdom of the ages as well as that of the Creator, I would be at the mercy, and a flimsy mercy at that, of the dominant and fluctuating values of the culture around me. Of course, Jeannie Phillips would not bring up biblically oriented counsel without being criticized and judged for it. The uproar that would descend upon her would make her a household name for perhaps 2 or 3 days, and she would be looking for a new job.